Welcome back, and that was international news, and it's now time for Black and White, and we are talking about having successful marriages and the solutions to problems that might occur. I'm no expert in this department, but in studio we have people who are well versed with this subject, and we have Johnston Chumwa, who's a life coach and author, as well as Reverend Nyakio Kamau, who's a marriage counselor at Setam Ngong. Welcome to the show, lady and gent. This is a very interesting topic, and I would like us to pivot off of a story about an acrimonious divorce that has been making headlines for weeks. We have been treated to details and drama throughout, and of course today's headlines are awash with that. The Star is telling us Linturi was both cruel and romantic. We have the Standard saying Kitani alleges Linturi plot to poison her. This is a marriage, remember? And then we have The Nation saying some details are even just better to be given in camera. And we have had this long-drawn, messy divorce case ongoing, and there have been questions that have lingered in the minds of us about the state of marriage, not just for these two, but of course for the whole entire country. Now, I would like the secret to a successful marriage. I'll start with you, Johnson. What do you think is key?
Thank you so much. Marriage works.
Yeah.
And marriage was ordained by God.
This is the hashtag I keep seeing everywhere. Marriage works.
Yeah, it works.
Why do we need to emphasize this?
Because to many it doesn't work. But I want to confirm that it works. I'm married, a father of two. Hi, baby, and my wife is.
Yeah, you can give your shout out.
Ours is working. It works because we do the hard work of marriage. If you do the hard work of marriage, it will work.
If I may ask, how long have you been married?
I've been married since last year, May.
Yeah, but you know, they say this is the most difficult part for many young couples, the beginning. Yes. So, yeah, give me your sentiments.
Yeah, so I can say confidently that marriage works. And it works by God's instructions.
Okay.
The moment you depart from God's instructions, you are headed to destruction.
Okay.
Marriage, you know, so many people have coined some phrases that marriage is a struggle, it's a strife.
It's hard.
It is not meant to be hard. They make it hard. And it's because men have left their God position.
Okay.
When a man does not take his divine position, marriage descends into chaos. It becomes something else.
Okay.
And it becomes a battleground. So I can say that men have left their position. And that is why many marriages are not working. Because the men are not doing what men are supposed to do.
Okay.
They have decided duty.
Okay, and we'll get into the various duties of the roles that should be played.
Absolutely, absolutely.
As we go through the discussion, just briefly from you, what do you feel is key for a successful marriage?
Marriage is basically when a man and a woman come together. And part of the vows that we help people make on that day when, for example, I'm wedding people, I tell them, this is the husband or the wife of my choice. So you make a choice to marry this person or to get married to this person, and you come together for different and various reasons, but you must do it for the right reasons.
Okay.
Because if you do it for the wrong reasons, because your friends are getting married, so I'm the only one being left behind. Biological clock is ticking. Hey, my friend, I'm getting older. Or there's this person, will I ever get someone else who's like this to marry? And you go in for the wrong reasons. Yeah, you're settling for, you know, for less, so to say. And that being the wrong reason why you're getting into marriage can be quite a trigger to why that marriage may not last. So you must get into marriage for the right reasons. Of course, you must be in love with someone. Though I know there are some cultures that they do arrangement, you know, they arrange marriages.
Love comes later.
And it comes later.
If at all.
For example, if you go to Asia, they arrange marriages. And apparently, the rates of divorce in those cultures is very low. Arranged marriages.
Somebody was saying it's like because it's new, so you fall in love while you're going through it.
Yeah.
So by the time, and you figure each other out, and the families are very invested in that. Perhaps that is something we could borrow, not necessarily making people
And perhaps
married.
They've also done a lot of research before they bring their daughter to this other son.
Oh yes, they do CVs.
Totally. So it's important to come together for the right reason.
Yeah.
And of course, under God, you know, it's God who makes everything successful. You say, we have come together, you commit this to God, and He will help you.
Yeah.
There'll be challenges along the way, definitely, but you're able to come through. So marriage does work.
Yeah.
And I have seen beautiful marriages. I've been married, this is my 12th year of marriage.
Oh, wow, congratulations.
Blessed with 3 children, and I've seen marriage working. Have we had issues?
Yeah.
Of course we have had. We are coming from different backgrounds. I always say I'm a girl who grew up in the up country. My husband grew up in town, so bring town and up country together, man. There was a clash of things and, you know, ideologies and stuff like that. But we decided we're in this to stay. And for as long as you decide, I'm in this to stay, it doesn't matter what I find inside this marriage, I'm going to work at it. Then it becomes easier to work through your issues.
Now, the two major things I'm hearing from the both of you is that it's important to have a foundation and intentionality. Tell me about you as a reverend. What is the ideal foundation? Is it God? Is it family support? Is it the goal that you both have, compatibility? What should be the foundation for two people?
For two people. The basic foundation, definitely, like for example, when you come to my worldview, is that people need to come into marriage under God. Under God. So God is the one who brings the people together. But that said, one of the key things that I have found very important for marriage is work at having a relationship, at a friendship. It's good those marriages that are arranged works, but it's good to have a relationship, not the person that you're going to marry. You need to have worked together for a while. You need to have had your boundaries when you're working together, because I think the other thing is that of late, we just don't have any boundaries. You can easily find someone, they meet the first day, and shortly they're in bed together. So, you know, when you become physical, then you kind of rearrange the priorities of this relationship, because every time you meet with this person, you're only thinking,
focusing on the
on the physical, the pleasure, the sexual pleasure. So just that friendship, coming under God, and being, it must be someone who you agree with in terms of values. Do you hold the same value system? Do you hold the same worldview? Do you agree on a number of things, which is very important?
Right.
They say at times that before marriage, opposites attract. But after marriage, opposites attack. For example, when you're dating this person, you used to like the fact that they are quiet, so you used to enjoy the fact that they are quiet. They don't have too much stories. But after you marry, you discuss, hey, they're too quiet, they're too quiet. No.
The thing that irritates you about them.
That's a thing. Like, can you talk? We are going through this issue. Let's address this issue. But you marry them because they are quiet.
They're quiet and
so
you
they're just continuing
that.
to be what they were. So, that can happen.
Now, Johnson, the foundation, what do you feel is the most important foundation between two people as they come together?
Marriage does not work because you love each other. Marriage works because you are committed to making the marriage work. And you are willing to do whatever it takes to make the marriage, work. For example, I believe that the man has a pivotal role to play in making the marriage work. If you see a malfunctioning family, it's because the man is malfunctioning. And a malfunctioning man makes for a malfunctioning wife.
It trickles down to the family.
And that's why we have a malfunctioning, a dysfunctional family, because the man does not understand his role. The man must play his role with 100% commitment. But this man must know what his role is.
Please explain.
And the Bible says, wisdom is the principal thing. Get wisdom. With all thy getting, get understanding. Meaning, if it costs you all you have, get it, because it is all you need. If you don't get wisdom, you will be a foolish man, and you will lead your marriage to
ruin.
To ruin. Now, the man leads the family this way. The problem of marriages are because the men are not firm enough. They are not even on top of things.
Yes.
The man has left his, what is a man's role in a marriage? What is his role? The man is a leader, he is the head. And headship means leadership. He is to provide leadership in the family.
Sure.
The family moves the way the man moves.
Okay.
So the man must provide leadership, the man must be a provider, the man must cultivate the woman. You know, God does not give you a finished product.
Yes.
God gives you raw material to make. God gives me a wife, and out of that lady, I'll make a wife. She gives me a lady, and out of the lady, I'll make a wife. I'll cultivate what I want to see in that woman. I'm telling you, I will catch her. I will do whatever it takes. You know, we talk a lot with my wife. How do we move this family together? I am a reader, a very serious one.
Okay.
I buy books. I can forgo meals to buy books. Our house is full of books, and she knows it. I know she is now laughing. And it is books everywhere. In the bedroom, in the sitting room, books everywhere. Because I believe in the power of knowledge.
It is
so because
important.
A knowledgeable wife it will be effective in executing their role. So this man must stamp his authority in the home. We have absentee men. Men who are frustrating their wives because they don't know what they are supposed to do. Men, listen to me. You are frustrating your wives because you have deserted your roles. Because you don't know actually what you should be doing. So the man has to assert his authority.
His authority in the home as the head.
In the home, and set the agenda for the family.
Right.
And give the family a vision.
Now, Reverend Nyakio, I'm curious on your sentiments on that, because there are roles that you're meant, as religion prescribes, that a man should play and a woman should play, and there comes the issue of submission. And many modern women do not want to hear about submission, but he is very emphatic on the fact that the man is the leader. So when it comes, as I do believe that you do counsel couples before they get into it, how do you counsel them? In modern times, I'm sure you encounter women who are assertive and they feel like, why should I submit in that way, you know? So how do you bring it in a way that is wholesome, that they understand that this sort of relationship dynamic would be beneficial for us as a unit?
Thank you. One of the things that you need to understand about submission is that as much as it's basically the role and the duty of a wife to submit, when you go to, like, for example, Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22 talks about submit to one another. And then in verse 23, talks about wives submit to your husbands. So there's that place of submitting to one another, where as much as I'm a wife, yes, I'm submitting to my husband, but my husband also, because I'm wired as their helper. And every woman, regardless of which culture they're coming from, we have been wired as helpers in the marriages that God has ordained us to be.
In the African society.
Yeah, in the African. But even everywhere you go, we are, even if you go to which culture, out of this country, out of this continent, you will find the woman playing their role as a helper, because they have been wired to come and assist the husband in achieving their God-given purpose. So that said, submission is a big thing. And I must say it's a place where a number of women struggle. I have talked to even older women, because I have discussed it's important, as our friend here is saying, about the man. When the older man helps the younger man, it becomes easy to play their role in the marriage and in the society. So I work with older women, and one of the things I keep asking them, how has this submission story been?
Yeah.
Because for me, it's also been a journey. And I remember I struggled with it so much because my husband found me in my career as a minister.
You're assertive, you're a strong woman.
I know, I'm a strong personality and I know that. And so I know what I want, when I want it, and how I want it. But then here comes a man who says, this is how I want it, how we will do it. And there was a conflict right there.
I can imagine.
But then in my struggle, one of the things I learned, if, for example, it has been subscribed to in the good old book, there's grace for it. Now, what does that mean? It means I can still be a high profiler. It can still mean that I have a nice high-flying job, but I can still be submitted to my husband. Now, submission, we must understand, does not mean that you become a doormat. It does not mean that. It does not mean that you don't even contribute to any conversation in that house. No, it doesn't mean that you are silent. You are a silent listener to every conversation that the husband is making in that house. No. It's just the attitude of heart, how you carry yourself in a submissive way. I know women who have very high-flying jobs and their husbands don't even have, they're not even maybe earning as much as their wives, but they have learned, this is my role as a woman, and this is the man who is the head of the woman, and they know that role so well. So it's not become a struggle. That said, I know these days women, and amazingly the girl child has become very empowered. You know, there's a time we're trying to bring up the girl child, but now we are there. We have positions, we have the power, we have the talk, we have the walk, you know. We got the money, and at times even more than the spouses that we have. But how do you bring about becoming submission? It's basically the attitude of heart. You know, when you discover, this man is my covering, this man is here to nurture and help me and to lead me and submitting to that leadership. Does that mean you can't say anything in marriage? No, you will contribute. And that's why we pray that the husbands will be in a position to listen also to the wives.
All right. Very good points right there. And we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we'll continue with this conversation on marriage and how to make it work. Do not go too far. We'll be right back.